Hello. Today's review is Arizona Sunshine. And, well, you know the drill. Do I recommend it? Yes, yes, kind of, not really. And full disclosure, this is actually going to be kind of a lengthy review because, there's a lot here. There's like 3 whole campaigns. So, why don't I recommend Horde mode? Ultimately, it it's okay at best. Like, it is its own unique thing, separate from like Nazi zombies in Call of Duty. However, it's just not the lightning in a bottle that like World at War or Black Ops 1 or some of Black Ops 2 was. It's clanky and a little janky and a little eh in a way that it's more of like the cash grabby later Call of Duty zombie maps. I want to call it like No Name, but at least No Name is actually kind of good. Uh, it's it's just really knockoff. So the first map you have readily available is kind of just plain Jane. You can't even wander over there at all. You're stuck to basically inside of these poles. That's basically the furthest you're allowed. It kinda sucks because it's a little plain Jane, you know. Uh, I suppose it does serve as a bit of a challenge because they come from you at 360 degrees. You have to navigate these few items because, once again, cannot wander out there. You can play up to 4 players on Horde mode. However, getting random strangers to collab is, once again, a bit of a challenge. So, hurrah. So, yeah, the old Dutchman mine is basically fight zombies in the dark with a shitty dim lit flashlight. You can crank start that generator over there, but it doesn't last very long. But, you know, the darkness does kind of make them an actual kind of threat. Not really. So the first one was the canyon, the second one was the old Dutch mine, and I'm not entirely sure where this one is, but it has by far the most extensive ability to explore. So while you were stuck in the singular room in the other place, this place you have all about there, all of in there, under here, in that main room, this little rooftop, over there, basically everywhere inside of these little fences. And it's a lot easier to access a little bit when you got friends, but I mean it's also not all that hard because they're not that hard if I have to be honest with you. And that basically instant reload is definitely to their detriment. But, you know, that's Horde mode, that's the 3 locations, and I suppose next we'll tackle Dead Man. Alright, and Dead Man, for the most part, is a lot like Horde mode, but centered around certain things, like waiting for the elevator to come up, which we'll see in a moment. Boop. So, you know, you're stuck behind this gate. I have the annoying alarms turned off. For obvious reasons. So, you know, you're behind the gate. There's an alarm going off because there's some sort of breach in security because we're in a facility. And, you know, for the next 28 seconds, I gotta sit here and just... And yeah, you know, you just keep going until the MacGuffin arrives. It's frequently an elevator, something to help ride the rails and yada yada. It's small puzzles, not really. But that's all I'm gonna show of Dead Man though, just because it's incredibly short and there's not really much to it other than, like, you know, endless waves if you don't quickly figure out the puzzle. So now let's review Campaign and the Damned. The campaign is about 7 levels long, 8 if you include the tutorial, but I don't, so 7 levels. Each of them are about 5 minutes long if you're just trying to get through it, like if you're a speedrunner. 10 minutes if you're like you're out to kill, but you're also out to see some sights. Not too much to see in the beginning, but nearing the end, there's more variance to the surroundings. On psvr, textures are fairly basic. If you're on the Pro, the draw distance is half decent, and if you are on the original, it's serviceable. Yeah, as you see, nothing too fancy, but it's still a pretty good time. So yeah, most levels are pretty straightforward. The AI, admittedly, is not very bright. It's fairly easy to... I mean, like, the greatest challenge you're going to come up to is that every once in a while they send a swarm after you, and, you know, got nice and quick, like, and other than that, as you can see, they're kind of shambly. Like I said earlier, each level about 5 to 10 minutes for an average, because not much to see, but it is still real pretty. However, you could get a solid like 20-30 minutes out of each and every round just dicking about, right? Like, here's a nice little rubber ducky. You could just sit there and pretend to have conversations with little rubber ducky. Yes, Mr. Ducky. We will slaughter them all, Mr. Ducky. Yeah, I'm getting to it. Yeah, we'll slaughter them. Yeah, alright, we're going. Yeah. Am I handling quarantine well? Of course I am. Don't you fucking contradict. Und wie? Double tap. Sometimes it's fun to pretend you're in Z Nation. Lieutenant Daniel, I, Mini Hades, give you mercy. Sometimes it's fun to pretend like you're working in an office, just sitting there like, I would literally rather do anything except for fill out the invoice for accounts payable. Oh. One of my favorite aspects of the game, besides the wide variety of different weapons in which you could use, is post-apocalyptic dress-up. I absolutely love throwing on these little masks. Specifically, that one is mine. Ain't it beautiful? It's got some, like, big purge energy. There's a lot of places in this game that just have one hell of a... But that's enough for the bright vibrance that is the campaign. And here is Damned and Dead Man. But that's enough of that bright, vibrant campaign mode stuff. And welcome to the Damned. There's a brief period where you're up top, and I did film it, but the audio corrupted, so I don't have that clip anymore. And then you're down here in the guts of the dam. So, after exploring in the bowels a little bit, like I said, you get some lobbies, there's some offices over there, and even a balcony where you can get, honestly, one hell of a view. I mean, would you just... Bunch of neat stuff down there, too, if you ever feel like looking about and stuff. These particular cubicles, bathrooms, kitchen, and offices over there are actually of note because there's a series of keys around here that if you find unlock a series of doors that allow you to get better weapons. Anyway, after prancing about a little bit in the offices, then we're right back in her guts. It's dirty. Alright, anyway, this is basically all I've got to say about this. You know, basically it's got it all. It's got the horde mode, even though it's not that great. And it's got dark places, and pretty places, and bright places, and ugly places. They look kind of grimy and gross. They got a wide variety of weapons. It's an absolute blast. I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend it mostly though to new players, because this was actually one of the first games that ever got me into VR, and I find it's got a lot of great comfort options and stuff. But anyway, that's my review. I recommend it. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.